one's an abstract one. So, this is picking me up. Hello. Oh my god. Okay. So, essentially, it begins here. This may run on. Have you ever thought of something really simple, simple, like a simple saying of life, and then attempted to complicate it to really get to the meaning, the meaning, a real simple one as well, I don't know, I can't think of that off the top of my head because I'm just that dumb, but essentially like one of these real simple ones that like an old chap will come out with, and you'll be like, I hear that all the time, and then you'll be like, I'm gonna have to find something more complicated because that's too simple for me. And so you go through the rigmarole of thinking through the saying, putting it against different circumstance, trying to come up with like a better term or a better saying, just to find out that the simple saying that you've been like trying to like pick apart is actually the best one, and it actually says all that needs to be said and is exactly as is, and you just think, and kind of crushes you a little bit because you're like, oh, that's existence is that simple that like any, like, not to be rude, but like any old someone can just say a straight law of like existence. Anyway, I hope that makes any sense, but if you get what I mean, then is that because of nature or is that because of the system we live in, is what I was thinking. So what side of that element there is the driving force behind the simplicity element of things, the simple laws that seem to like just be true, and you can, if you're a real thicko, you can say it, and if you're a genius, you'll be saying the same thing because it's like a confining law of existence. Is that nature or is it the system? So then I start thinking about, is nature simple? Well, to an extent, nature has a simplicity about it. It's complicated to a degree, but it has a simplicity about it. It's the things within nature that make it complicated. They make it complicated in certain circumstances with the endeavor to always return to simplicity. So when the lion hunts the wildebeest, that's the baseline of that is simple. He's going to kill it and eat the thing. The act of doing it is complicated because he's got to figure out how he's going to do that and do it to a good degree. But that creature wouldn't want to remain in that scenario for too long. It's always driven by the urge to return to the simplicity and to just kill, catch, eat. Simple as. I'm hoping this is making any sense at all. This is a bit of a rushed one. So therefore, there is a simplicity to nature, but there's also a complexity to it. Okay, so we've discovered nothing there really, except for except for the fact that everything wants to return to simplicity. Anyway, we're getting somewhere with this. Just stick with me. All right. So. Art. So essentially, like within like the art sphere, simplicity is a very effective thing. If you, for example, oh my. So essentially, with like classical pieces, the classical pieces aren't simple. They're very complicated to make, but they are simplistic in what they are. In their what they're trying to like show you. It's a bowl of grapes. Okay, it's a bowl of grapes. And I flick this thing again. Hello. Or nowadays, like classical art, simple, effective. Nowadays, you can't do that again. So people overcomplicate things to try and make art very complicated. Anyway. Simplicity let's just cut to the chase here because we're rambling around. All right, which essentially is humans like simplicity. We love simplicity. Everybody loves this like simplicity within life, but they also like people can't be dealing with that all the time. So what we do is we jump off the ground and into the stars for a little bit, cause all this chaos and have this crazy like story, and then with the drive, the complete drive to get back on the ground and get back to simplicity. The borderline of all existence is essentially simplicity. Okay, that's what it seems like to me. Simplicity is like a human instinct to be achieved. So, but it can't be like essentially, or most people, maybe some people can, but it can't be withstood for too long because you just get so bored. So then you end up creating like chaos and confusion just to get back to simplicity. That is the creme de la creme. Yeah. Is life confined by the drive for simplicity? Yes, I believe it is. Nature in itself is a complicated machine, but essentially nature in itself is a complicated machine, but things within nature seek simplicity but can't stand it, so then they make stuff more complicated than it is. It's like ultimate simplicity would be like standing in one place for us, because we're not going to, without the whole life and death situation, standing in one place, ultimate simplicity. No one's going to do that. It's boring as hell. It's safer, so naturally it's a natural yes. Like in the laws of nature, that would be an absolute plus, guys. Yes, but you starve to death, so then you have to go and like cause chaos, cause a ruckus, just to return to simplicity. And essentially all the, like when you think of like the Buddhist monks and the Tibetan monks and stuff, essentially what they're going for is just like simplicity, because they're stripping away all thoughts from their mind just to sit somewhere and just absorb the Zen energy, as if I have a clue. And so I don't know. And also this is a crazy one. Is enlightenment just the like closest thing to like? Can you achieve enlightenment the closer you get to simplicity? Seems kind of interesting. But anyway, this is just a random ramble. Doesn't make any sense to anyone, because I wrote it down. It took me about 5 seconds, and I haven't even got half an idea of what I'm talking about. But there you go. We live, laugh, love, and learn. That's another thing. Live, laugh, love. That's very simple. It's very simple. But it's so simple, it makes you want to puke. When you walk in someone's house and that's hanging on the wall, you want to shoot yourself. It's so you feel like you're going to be sick. But I bet if you went on a crazy excursion, came back, sat in a chair after all that, and you saw that live, laugh, love, you'd be like, finally, simplicity.